Women's experiences are different, women's issues are different, and women see everything in a different light. And when we have that balance, it's really better. I also think women have a tendency to get stuff done. They do talk about stuff, but when it comes to needing to get it done, they roll up their sleeves and off they go.
Well, I suppose one of the biggest challenges is, it's hard to pick the biggest one, but one of the biggest, I suppose, was running for election in 2019. I was co-opted as a councillor in 2016, so I suppose I had the benefit of at least knowing what I was getting myself into. But putting yourself forward in front of the public and being honoured by them voting for you, that was probably the biggest challenge and the biggest thrill as well.
Having children makes this job difficult, and having no maternity leave makes it even more challenging. I was back in this chamber 2 weeks after giving birth to both my children. I look back now, I have no idea how I did that. We are working towards changing that now. There is a group looking at a national level on introducing maternity leave for female politicians at a local and national level, and paternity leave as well. And that's a huge positive step forward. And that is because we have more women in politics. We have more women around the table representing women.
Well, my happiest moment is always when we get involved in local issues and we work with local communities and people get involved, and by more and more people getting involved, we have great outcomes. So for example, we campaigned for about 2.5 years for a park in the Liberties, and that was a brilliant grassroots-led campaign. Every Tuesday night we met for 2.5 years, and that park is going to open next September.
I think you need to be strong, you need to be brave, and you need to realise that you're not going to please all of the people all of the time, and that's just part of the job. So a lot of it is about growing a thick skin and really understanding that it's going to be tough at times, but it's also going to be very rewarding, and it's important that women are at the table.
Women working with women together for a positive outcome is a very powerful force. So I would advise women to be aware of how powerful you can be, positively powerful, if you work with women to achieve a goal. It is so important to remember that. I would also like to, I suppose, advise women that politics can take over your life. So just be aware of that.
Legislation. There's much greater level. When I became involved in politics first, we were fighting for equal pay, and we were told that we would close down the sweet and shoe industry if we insisted on equal pay. Reality, of course, was that women were subsidising these industries. And we stuck with it. And we learned through battles like that how to stand up for ourselves and how to fight the battle.
The two most recent things that I appreciate that have changed: in 2016, the LGBT referendum means women can marry each other, and 2018 repealed the 8th Amendment that women are not being sent out of the country.
The main parties in particular are more aware that they have to do more to support women who want to get involved, and I think they're probably more conscious that they should make an effort to find female candidates to support the women that are already there, whereas they mightn't have been in the past. So I think the opportunities for progression are probably there more so than they might have been 20, even 30 years ago.
I think with politics, achievements happen so slowly and over a long period of time, so it's hard to kind of pin one down. But when I think about like the happiest time, it's definitely on election day. I'm not into sports, but my father says it's like our All Ireland. Working so hard, knocking on so many doors, spending weeks, sometimes years, getting someone elected and it finally happening, I think that you can't describe that feeling. It's wonderful.
My biggest fear was the feeling that I wasn't good enough, that I wouldn't be as experienced as other politicians. I remember running in the first election that I ran in 2014, and I just felt that I mightn't have that experience, so I would have felt a little bit intimidated about that.
My biggest fear was the same fear I had starting any job, that I just didn't know how to do the job, what people expected of me. And I've overcome that by sticking with what I know and sticking with the issues that are most important to me and working with all the others who share my vision.
I would, because it has opened my eyes to how things operate in politics. And I can see that already I'm making an impact in my community. And I love being able to solve problems and help people and show a different way of how things can be done.
Some days I sit on the floor thinking, this is not worth it. And this is not worth all the issues and abuse, but it's also, trying for my family, and I don't get to see my daughter enough. And then you realize, you know what? Like, you have a daughter and you want her and her generation to make sure that they can do this. I would absolutely do it all again in a heartbeat.
It is really rewarding, even making a small change. Getting a filter light on a really busy road that eases up traffic, that type of small change makes a difference in people's lives, and that is so worthwhile doing.